Well, it's time for the Season 8 reunion for Love is Blind. Guys, I can't wait. It's going to be so peaceful. There's going to be no drama at all. No, there's going to be a heck of a lot of drama, and we're going to get all into it right now. I'm just so glad I'm going to church first. What's going on, you guys? James here with another real recap and review for Love is Blind Season 8. This time it is episode 14, The Reunion. I did not get this episode sent early to me. I am prepping this ahead of time because I do have church to go to, but when we get back, I'm going to watch it and we're going to cut over to my recap and review. I can't wait to get into it. Yes, it's going to be full of spoilers, so if you've missed out on any of my recap and reviews, it's floating right at the top of the screen, or all the links are in the description below. I mean, there's just so much good content that we've been pumping out, and it's all because of your support that they've been doing well. So hey, if you are new here, hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, tap on that bell, like this video, and get loud in the comments and let me know which segment of the reunion is your favorite. Now, I'm so excited to follow up with some of my favorite creators, of course, with their reunion coverage. One that isn't going to be able to do that is Chris from Tate's Take. Now, I did actually reach out to him and I said, hey, anything you'd like me to tell the people on your behalf? And you know what he told me? Did you bring the Advil? No, he didn't say that, but that's a joke from his recent recap. You should watch it to check on that. But he did say, and I quote, I'll never forget the good times. Beautiful, poetic, definitely a great Chris quote. No, but in all seriousness, guys, I'm so excited to get into this recap and review. So without further ado, well, let's watch it. I'll come back, give you my thoughts, and it's gonna be a fun one. I hope. Yes, give us nothing. Okay, that's kind of how I felt about the second half of this reunion, but I just got done watching the Season 8 reunion, and there is some drama to talk about. We're gonna get into this, alright? So let's just begin at the top. This thing is an hour and 14 minutes. Sorry, I'm traumatized by the finale. But it opens with a montage of pod moments that remind us of past seasons and how there have been better seasons of this show. Seriously, why would they do that to themselves? I'm walking right into a joke here. But here are the introductions in the order that they happened. You guys, we had Daniel and Taylor introduced first. Just don't know why Vanessa Lachey laughed like that. It was a really weird laugh. Devin, then Virginia, Joey, then Monica, Sara, Ben, Lauren, David, Alex, Molly, Meg, Madison, and lastly, Mason. So this reunion was broken up in a really weird way. We had moments with our contestants on the couch, and then they broke away awkwardly and transitioned into top 5 fan-voted unforgettable moments in Love is Blind history. Who asked for this? Who asked for this? But anyway, we're getting it. So I might as well just give you the top 5 moments right now. Number 5 is Chelsea and Jimmy in the pods when Chelsea brings up that she has been told she looks like Megan Fox, and the lie detector still determines that's a lie. Number 4 is Garrett and Taylor showing up to the reunion with a new makeover, and seriously, that's an unforgettable moment? I mean, come on, Uche playing his guitar is more unforgettable than that. Come on. Number 3 is Lauren and Jeremy in Season 6 when Laura called him out for lying about his location. Hey, find my friends. Never lies. Number 2 is Lauren and Cameron in Season 1 during their reveal moment, and it was so genuine and it reminds us all that Love is Blind hasn't been genuine or that genuine since. Seriously. Alright, number 1. Jessica and Jimmy in Season 6. The EpiPed pod moment, as you know, when Jessica says, yeah, you're gonna need an EpiPen when you see me. And he almost did. He was close. And then in that same segment, Jessica sent in a video and was just thanking everybody who voted for her. Okay, moving on. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, well, towards the end of the reunion, they had another weird one-off segment called the Sock Bin Challenge. It's just so ridiculous. I get it. It was a joke that everyone was talking about. You know, this communal sock bin that Monica has with all their crusties, and then they all just wear the same socks. But it was just, it's one of those moments where I'm gonna let you guys know. A lot of the real friends out there watch my recaps and do not watch the episodes, and this was one of those I'm watching it so you don't have to moments, because it was a waste of air. And next, they had a Love is Blind game commercial that made me literally laugh out loud. Like, what are we doing? Seriously, what is happening? Is this reunion so darn boring in the second half that you have to introduce these dumb segments? Ridiculous. And then at the end, AD and Ollie were our special guest appearance. So no Brittany and no other guests. Instead, we're bringing AD out again. And then Ollie from Love is Blind UK, they come out together. AD reveals she's starting a podcast. Then they play a promo for her podcast and the fact that they're going to be on season 3 of Perfect Match. But then it gets real because Ollie takes AD down towards the shore and says, I love you and I want to just marry you, in his British accent. And then, AD says yes, everyone's crying. Virginia's on the couch crying, Vanessa's crying, and I know somewhere Clay is sick. So yeah, AD and Ollie are engaged. Alrighty. Well, anyway, there was also another dumb one-off moment. There's a lot of these dumb one-off moments in this reunion. It was a musical performance. I fast-forwarded through most of it. There was awkwardness everywhere. There was one moment, though, that just made me laugh literally out loud. It was like Monica on the couch, and then Virginia, and they have their gold goblets, and they're just listening to the music, and they're like, and I'm like, come on. That's so forced. Anyway, can we finally move on, Love is Blind, to our contestants and their drama? And the answer is yes, because we're going to get into our very first couple who gets grilled by the Lacheys. And I gotta say, listen, I've been a critic of the Lacheys in the past with these reunions, but 2 reunions in a row now that I think they've asked some pretty good questions. I just know somewhere Sharonda's sending in the questions, though. It can't be anyone else. Alright, let's get into our first couple, or I should say, our first moment with a former couple in which they got grilled. It's Ben and Sara. Ben begins to testify that he recognizes that he has some privilege in life. Ben, that would be called white privilege, to be exact. And yeah, he's basically admitting, I should have known about George Floyd, clearly, and maybe I should be at least more cognizant of these different social matters. I just really wish that the Lacheys did ask Sara, why did you pick Ben when he didn't even rise to your standards? Just saying. There's also a very common theme during this segment where Ben says he either doesn't remember or he's forgetting a lot of things. Maybe he was just warming up the excuses because shortly after that they ask about the TikTok. And of course, you remember the TikTok that was talked about in one of the episodes. And once it was brought up, Sara says, hey, guys, I gotta be honest with everybody on the couch and in the crowd. Knowing what I know about Ben right now, oh man, I totally would imagine and believe that someone would make a TikTok just like that. So Sara basically saying that, man, I should have went with my gut there. Oh, and we got a wild Sara's sister and her partner in the crowd because of course they're there just to make sure Sara says all the right things. Well, according to them, at least. They go on and explain, Sara and Ben, that they lived together for about a week or 2 after the wedding, which is a very messy situation because how in the heck do you guys live together after that? Goodness, man. Is Minneapolis really that small? That they just continue to run into each other? I don't know. But then one of the more dramatic moments happened between them, which is, well, Sara having to go to Nashville for work, and Ben and her talk about it, and Ben agrees, hey, I'm going to come with you, and we're gonna see if this can work. Spoiler alert. It didn't work. Basically, Ben leaves Sara alone in Nashville for her work after agreeing that he would be there, and he turns off his Find My Friends after she gets there safely because according to Ben, he thinks that at that point they had already been broken up, so why in the world would I keep my Find My Friends on and have to even reach out to you? You're there safe, goodbye. Ben was quick to cut that off. Sara says that Ben ended up sending her 3 scripted apologies, in her opinion, and says that Ben apparently was told by a past cast member that they need to be on good terms and practice reunion questions together. So Vanessa Lachey gets messy, like, is it a she or he? Who was it? Which season? And then Sara comes out of nowhere and says, it was Jimmy. And not me. Another Jimmy. And Jimmy, why are you gonna continue to put yourself in the mess, okay? You were out of the mud and you're back in it again. Gosh. So Ben says he felt that they were broken up again, so this is why he went through the motions. I just don't understand. If he really did feel like they were broken up, why did he go to Nashville or agree to go to Nashville with Sara? Ben is a little slippery here, you know what I mean? I mean, Sarah's not innocent either, but Ben is... Then, shortly afterwards, Ben is caught in a lie about the rehearse reunion questions bit. He's like, I don't remember even telling you about the whole rehearse. Actually, I don't think that's what happened. I can't remember. Brother, you're lying. Sorry, Ben, you're lying. I mean, come on, man. And then Sara says, finally, Ben, I feel that I was love bombed by you, and this entire experience with you was a sham. I don't know, Ben. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and cast stones, right? I will say, though, this didn't make it look very good. And the fact that you didn't remember a lot, your inconsistencies in your stories, and also it seems like you were just conforming for the show rather than just letting yourself be very honest on the show and still being yourself. I think you just wanted to go to the altar with somebody. So that's just me. So I think Sara felt the same way too. Sara compromised her values as well, so she's just as guilty. But Ben in this situation, man, I think this boy's lying. So yeah, not great for Ben and Sara. But let's move on to the couple that actually opened up, the former couple that actually opened up the show with all the mess. It's Devin and Virginia. And let's just say, seems like Devin really missed his shot with Virginia. Got it because basketball? Whatever. Nick Lachey asked Virginia first about why she changed her mind at the altar, and Virginia said, well, I felt like we were not in alignment on important things like core values. And I ain't gonna lie to you guys, okay? Virginia looks like she was media trained for this. And her mother Mary is in the crowd nodding. And like, that's my girl. She might be a politician. Virginia might be a politician sooner than later, but she was very ready for this moment. Virginia says, my values include supporting the LGBTQ community, abortion rights, and acceptance of other religions. And this is where Devin probably, I'm pretty sure he wanted to get ahead of this because, or as much as he could, because it made it sound like, or Virginia made it sound like Devin doesn't accept any of that. So Devin said, listen, why can't we just look past certain things? I feel like in a relationship, two people should be able to look past certain things and still love each other even though they're not in agreement with everything. I mean, it's one thing to not be in agreement over your favorite Shake Shack order. It's another thing to not be in agreement over accepting other people based on their religion. So I don't know here. Then Virginia brings up a bombshell. She says, I saw a note from his ex-girlfriend on his nightstand and he never mentioned it to me. Big yikes, Devin. Big yikes. He said, according to Devin, that he doesn't view his ex as his ex, but a friend, a best friend, someone I could confide in. Almost like your ex-girlfriend at one point. So this is not a good look for Devin. So Virginia apparently met this ex-girlfriend of Devin's, but at that time still didn't know that they were dating. So Devin, tell me, why are you trying to keep this a secret, huh? I don't know, I'm just saying here. Well, I do want to kind of just now transition to the wedding gift moment, the one they teased in the trailer, because apparently Virginia and Devin were given a wedding gift. It was a check in the amount of $1,000. That's one stack, all right? So they were given a stack. And the thing is, Devin's mom and Virginia met up at one of Devin's basketball games, and Devin's mom is like, hey girl, hey, did you get the check from my boss for $1,000? It's a wedding gift for you and my son? And Virginia is like, I would have known. I would have had it in my spreadsheet. It would have been in my financials. So Devin hid it. And what was Devin's reason? Well, this is what he said. Devin said he was going to present the check to her once they got married, but that to me sounds like an excuse. So Devin, did you save it and buy some more Off-White Nikes? Somebody educate me in the comments. Do they cost $1,000? I don't know. But that didn't feel right. That was a little, I don't know, right? So then Virginia goes on to say, I'm not done. Virginia mentions how she's gone out of her way to celebrate Devin, even celebrating Devin's birthday and giving him hundreds of dollars in gift cards to his favorite stores. And I'm telling y'all, Virginia, you got money, okay? She probably Nike, Foot Locker. I mean, you like sneakers, right? What else? Lululemon? No, not Lululemon. But my goodness. I mean, Virginia got that money. So I'm guessing she said all of that to further paint the picture that Devin, you are not going to win this round, buddy. I'm so sorry. It sounds like you weren't doing enough thoughtful things. I don't think Virginia cares too much about the money side of things, right? It's just about the thought that goes into it. And then Virginia says, listen, I'm surprised by your character tonight, Devin, because that isn't who you were before this. She even goes as far to say that Devin didn't show love or respect to her or towards her during the past year. So Devin, how are you going to get out of this one? Oh, I guess you're going to continue to dig your hole deeper, because he then says this. He wanted to be with her afterward, but the conversations they had show that she wasn't interested and didn't want to be with him. And then Virginia lets out a hilarious gasp. It was so great. And that's how you know, Devin. You might have been wrong there, buddy. I'm just saying. Or you might have misread the situation big time. So, yeah. It's rough, man. And then Virginia says that Devin ghosted her after a week following the wedding, and Molly and Madison chime in to say that Devin, contrary to what he was saying in retort to that basically they were being told by Devin that Virginia was ghosting him instead. A lot of he said, she said, but the thing is, you got two witnesses here in Virginia's corner and none for Devin. Yikes. Devin then said Molly and Madison came up to him very drunk, asking him about his and Virginia's business, and that despite everything, well, hey, I still think you're a good person, Virginia. Virginia, don't want nothing to do with you, homie. Sorry. Virginia's like, Dusty Devin, goodbye. But this is rough. I mean, this is not an ideal situation for either of them, right? But in my opinion, I do think Virginia comes out looking a little bit better than Devin here. Alrighty. So with all that mess now behind us, let's move on to a segment that I didn't think would be as dramatic as it was. Oh, but I'm glad I was surprised and wrong here. Joey and Monica. Hey, we've been saying all season long, Joey, golden retriever energy. Nah, that is a snake. So Monica opens up the segment just admitting that not only did Joey not tell her, I love you, she never said it to him either. That's kind of sad, I guess, for those who thought Joey and Monica were eventually going to get there. But I want to kind of stop here because Monica looks different, right? It's not just me. I thought maybe it was the trailer. Who knows? No. She looks a little bit different here. Them spray tans going crazy in Minneapolis. But let's get back to Joey. So Joey says that he felt that he couldn't get out of the friend zone with her. And the reason was Monica's sister, Nicole. And throughout all of Joey and Monica's conversation, Joey's sisters were shown in the crowd and looked like they were ready to fight Monica. Excuse me. Monica's sister versus Joey's sisters versus Dave's sisters. This is a crazy, like, Royal Rumble type of match, all right? WWE, get on it. I'm just saying. But Monica says, all right, enough with the pleasantries now, because if that was pleasant compared to what we're about to talk about. Monica says that he found out that Joey slipped into another cast member's DMs. Joey? Joey says, yes, I did get into the DMs of Madison. Oh, Joey. Oh, Joey, that's bad. That's bad, all right? And then Madison chimes in and says, Joey did send me a message, and it said, and I quote, loving the pink hair. Wish we could have talked more. And I got one thing to say to Joey. You are for the streets. He's for the streets. That's giving very much where you at type of energy. You know what I mean? All right, let's move on to Monica and what she says Joey told her. Joey told Monica that Madison was coming on to him at bars, and Monica asked Madison about it, which Madison denied. And then the whole time Joey begins to really gaslight Monica here. So I don't necessarily think Joey's a golden retriever anymore. Guys, I'm sorry. Joey was caught in his lie. He was trying to get out of it, and Joey's sisters were ready to go to bat. But then after a while, you'd have to imagine they were thinking, oh, shoot, we've really got no ground to stand on. So Joey and Monica, suffice to say, they ain't going nowhere anytime soon. They're just going to go their separate ways, right? So, man, crazy how this turned out. Would you ever imagine Joey and Monica from the pods to now would end up being a messy couple? I don't know. They'd have a messy falling out like this? I would never have guessed it. Alrighty, so now let's move on to Dave and Lauren, a segment that started off really dramatic and entertaining, and it just got really boring at the end. Nick Lachey opens this entire segment with, so Dave, what's wrong with you? Nick Lachey is messy, dude. Come on now, bro. And then the camera continues to pan to Lauren, of course. And I gotta ask, is Lauren wearing like anthropology earrings? the earrings from Anthropology. Men, if you don't know what that is, got to get your game up. I'm not saying I'm going to wear them. I'm just saying I'm cognizant of this, So, yeah, Anthropology earrings are super expensive, apparently, it looks like. So, I guess she got money. Virginia got money. Who else got money? Lauren says, watching back everything, she realizes that she's light years ahead of Dave in terms of emotional maturity, which Dave agrees to. Hey, listen, Dave is doing one of these. I'm going to lay down, and I'm just going to take it, okay? Because he is this whole time. Lauren says Dave ended up texting her and said that, hey, Lauren, I've gained some clarity on the situation with that guy, and basically admitted he was wrong. Dave says the guy Lauren was seeing was just trying to latch onto the situation, and that this guy's side was all fabricated. Congrats, Dave. Literally everything Lauren was trying to tell you and get you to understand, but you just refused to believe your fiance, and instead believe to refuse your friend, or to believe your friends. I can't even think, guys, it's late, but still, how do you choose to believe your friends over your fiance anyway? 1, 2, are they still your friends? Because they don't sound like they should still be your friends. Dave says, I regret not listening to Lauren, and agrees that she is the one that got away. Vanessa then doing one of these things, it was kind of annoying, honestly. She's like, oh, no, Dave, but tell her how you feel right now. Do it in front of everybody. And Dave said, I don't think I could do that right now. And Lauren says, don't worry, homie, because I wasn't going to believe you anyway. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Yeah, I don't blame Lauren for not believing a word that comes out of his mouth. So then it comes up again about the Dave letter situation where Lauren writes a letter to Dave's sister, and Lauren says he never gave it to her at the dinner. Well, Dave says, I did give it to her. Like, afterwards. Like, not when I was supposed to. So I guess I didn't give it to her. But I did just weeks later. Lauren then says, listen, I don't think Dave's a narcissist or a manipulator. I guess I can maybe argue a little bit about the manipulation, but this is what she said. And then Dave says, moving forward, I hope that in Love is Blind, well, outside voices don't play such a big part. And that might be the only time I agree with Dave on anything this season. It was actually Kristen Maldonado, friend of the channel. Also, I collab with her and the other content creators for the Love is Blind live streams. She said that first. All right. Are we done with the segment? We are. Okay, let's go on to Molly. She's got hardly any screen time here. Yeah, you know what? No notes for her. It was getting dry by that point. So, let's just move on. Molly's just reaffirming that Lauren's my girl. Dave, you're dumb. Okay. Madison and Alex. By the way, side note, some of y'all were in my comments saying I'm surprised Alex is at the reunion based on his recent allegations. They are allegations, so I won't really bring them up. But if that's true, Netflix, you got some explaining to do. So, Madison and Alex. Well, Madison brings up that Alex begged her to stay in Los Angeles with him. And Alex, I'm thinking, brother, what in the world? Okay, you thirsty, homie. Madison says he turned on Mason after the show. Remember, this was brought up earlier, too, where she says that Alex sent him an F Mason text, and the F ain't for forgive. So Alex denies it, but Madison says, oh, I've got receipts, and then pulls out like a ton of stuff from the side of her shirt and was just like, yeah, I got receipts. Let me break out the screenshots. And then read some screenshots where, of course, as you can imagine, Alex is trying to kind of egg on Madison a little bit, but also revealing that maybe he's picking on Meg and Mason too, using skull emojis and the melting emoji. He's being a little messy boots, And yeah, Madison pulling out the receipts, it ends Alex. Sorry, Alex, you're done. So let's move on from Madison and the Mark Zuckerberg cosplayer to Mason and Meg. So, they shot their own reveal moment, but then they showed the footage here in the reunion, and it was definitely fallen flat. But I gotta make one comment here. Mason, you're a cinematographer, and you let the person filming this film it vertically? Oh my gosh. They reveal they're no longer dating, and they're just friends. And guess what? We all probably could have seen that coming, but hey, I'm glad they're still friendly. But then it gets messier. Then we get a conversation that involves Madison, Mason, and Meg, and a little bit of Alex. So Mason says Madison told him very validating things in the pods, which led to that Mason moment where he's like, I'm just committing to you. And Madison's like, oh shoot, I'm not, because you're not my number one. We remember that. Mason says, well, in retrospect, I wish I was validating Meg just as much as I was validating Mason because Meg deserved it. Ooh, Mason. You want to pick a fight with the mean girl? You want to pick a fight with Regina George? Well, Madison was not having it. But Meg is like, okay, hold on here. Everything Madison is saying now is contradicting what she said in the past, especially in the interviews where she called Mason manipulative. So it is like a 2-on-1 situation here, right? And Madison says, okay, listen, I do take some accountability. I apologize for speaking on your behalf, Meg. But Meg doesn't really accept that apology, it seems like. So Mason hops in and says, okay, hold on. Madison, you're claiming that I'm this manipulative person here and I'm like changing the game for you mentally. I'm not capable of doing that. Thank you for thinking I'm that smart. Sounds like something a manipulator would say. Mason then says, the reason I committed to you, Madison, was because I felt pressured, which I have no idea what that means. And then Mason continues, because this guy's gotten a lot of screen time in this moment. Mason says, hey, Madison, you told me that you had feelings for me during a moment after the show, which Madison says is absolutely not true. And this is where Meg has her moment where she says, I think I have the right to be upset here. Do I not have the right to be upset? Because Mason and Madison, you both actually ruined it for me. And I'll be honest, Madison the whole time is just saying that, like, you're wrong, Mason. Like, why would you say that about me? Like, the breakup hurt me too. But Madison, you did come into the women's quarters after breaking up with Mason in the pods and saying, breakups taste good. Didn't seem like the breakup hurt you that much in that moment. I don't know about afterwards, but in that moment, was not great for you. So it's just a messy situation all around. But I think it's okay to say that Mason, Meg, Madison, and Alex are most likely never going to talk to one another ever again. Alrighty, so now let's move on to Daniel and Taylor. Remember, our only married couple this season. They've been married a year now, and it sounds like they're in such a healthy place together. Daniel's got a mustache. I don't know why, but they show a year in review montage of photos and videos, Christmas time. Looks like they're having fun. And then Daniel reveals that he got a tattoo of Taylor, but not in the way you would think. He got a tattoo of Taylor's eyes on his chest, and the story's kind of cute, but I never thought tattoos of eyes like that look great. Alright, fine. I've never seen someone get a pair of eyes tattooed on their body. That's just me. He first noticed her eyes during the reveal, so that's why he wanted to get it close to his chest. Okay, kind of cute, right? Then they talk about they have Christmas gatherings, but then Daniel transitions and says, my mom was battling leukemia, but is now cancer-free. Praise God. I think that's amazing. I'll be praying for Daniel's mother's full recovery, of course. And then they end their segment on a nice note. They bought their first home together, and I think that's so sweet. That home was going to have a Christmas tree up in it for the whole year. And that's not being taken down. And then to end the reunion, you guys, they reveal that Love is Blind Season 9 will be taking place in Denver, Colorado. You know what? I'm not mad at it. Denver would at least maybe be a more lively city than this, right? Tell me in the comments if I'm off base here. But hopefully after Denver, for Season 10, we get Love is Blind Miami. If and when that happens, you guys, just believe me. Since I've grown up down here, I'm going to have a lot to say about this. It's going to be very interesting. But y'all, there you have it. That is the Love is Blind Season 8 reunion recap. Overall, not a very remarkable reunion. It's not something that I'm going to remember. It's a little forgettable at times. The first half is stronger than the second half, by far. So, again, there are just moments here that really made me scratch my head from a creative standpoint, like the top 5 moments, and then the musical performance, and then the Love is Blind mobile game promo. Just felt so out of place and weird. Let's hope they never do that again. And also, good for AD and Ollie. But did we really need to spend time on them? I don't know. So guys, that's it. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. I'm so tired right now, but thank you all for your support. And if you haven't already, hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, tap on that bell, and like this video, you guys, for more Love is Blind content, TV, and movie reviews all year long. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. And if you know when Love is Blind UK Season 2 is, let me know, because I should probably be covering that too. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm going to go and pray and ask that the Lord give me strength to edit this thing, get it up, and I can't wait to chat with you all in the comments about it. Thanks so much for watching. God bless you guys, and I'll catch you at the next screening.